Okay, I have this LED light, and it uses 3 batteries in here. Now, I was hoping, excuse me, that all 3 batteries were in series, and these batteries are rated at, let me see here, 1.5 volt. So with 3 of them in series, basically like this, I should get 1.5 plus 1.5 plus 1.5, which would be 3, 4.5. So with those, I have 4.5 volts going into the circuitry here, and hopefully it's that way. So what I did, and I'm sorry, but the way that this is set up, I can't show you the meter, but if I measure between this point and this point, I'm hoping I get a short, and I am at 0.02 ohms. And then let's see what this one gives me. 0.09 ohms. And then these two hopefully will not give me a 0.0 something. Okay, 36 kiloohms. Great. So what that means is, since this junction here is 0.0 something, and this one is 0.0 something, that means that these 3 batteries are in series. And yes, okay, down here there's a little red wire going to here. So these are the negative and positive terminals. So it is in series, so this has 4.5 volts. Now this is a 5 volt USB charger, and it's rated for 1 amp. Now I'm sure that those 3 batteries are not supplying 1 amp continuously to this. And what's nice is this has a remote that you can either press it to turn it on and off, or you have a remote to turn it on and off, and it'll actually even dim it. So what I want to do is connect this. Well, I want to try with my power supply to see if I can bring this voltage up to 5 volts without blowing these LEDs out. And if I can do that, then I'm going to drill a hole somewhere over here and connect these leads to these 2 points, and that way I can plug this into the wall, and there will be a continuous 5 volts so that we can turn this on and off with the remote and never have to worry about the batteries dying, because this sucks the batteries down in just overnight. So that keeping batteries in this thing is just ridiculous, but it shines a lot of light, and it's great for above the counters, under the cabinets. So now I'll have to get this ready to supply 5 volts. I'm going to put 4.5 on here first, see how it does, and then slowly raise the voltage up to 5. So I'm going to have to figure out, I got to take this off and then figure out a way to connect to those 2 points with the minimal amount of leads that I got. Okay, so I'm going to put you on pause. Okay, please bear with me. These are my meter leads, and I just wanted to use these in my power supply. And of course, these ones have protective covers over the banana plugs, and these you can fit banana plugs in, but not with the protective covers. So it seems like I still have a little bit of configuring to do. So, and if the camera looks like it moved, well, I had to move it to go get my power supply because I didn't have my power supply over here. And this is just becoming one of those things where in order to get something done, I got to do 3 other things, which I don't like doing, but I do want to get this done tonight so that I can see if this works, and then I can get it installed. So bear with me a little bit longer. Okay, I was able to scrounge some wire, and it should be long enough, so let me strip some of this here. There's no way that this wire is, let me see, 16. It's probably, oh, maybe it is 16. I'm thinking it's 18. No, maybe it is 16. Okay. So it fits very well in a 16 gauge. I'm very happy with that. So I'm going to use, just as my own preference, because I've always liked blue, I'm going to use brown as my negative. And this is very difficult trying to find the hole in here. There. Oh, is that it? No. Probably would have been better if I would have went underneath. Let me see. Yeah, there. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off because I don't want to short anything. Okay, so I got those plugged in. Not the greatest job in the world. Don't like what I did to the ground one. Okay, and then let me see. Now I'm going to take a little bit more off. There. Okay, so I'm going to put this on pause again and try to figure out how to get these connected, brown here and blue here. So I'm going to put you on pause. Okay, everyone. So I got here, let me see, let me turn the power supply off. I have the brown wire to the negative side, and I have the blue wire to the hot side. And usually hot is red, and ground is usually a dark color. In this case it's blue, but for the most part in DC circuitry, black is ground and white is hot. In AC circuitry, white is neutral and black is hot. So just to let you know, I have my brown wire, and I'm not sure about these European colors. I think they're European. The blue I think is neutral, and I think the brown is hot for AC. I hope that's how it is. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember right now. I used to know that off the top of my head, but I don't anymore. Okay, so I'm going to turn on the power supply. I have it set for 4.5 volts, and there happens to be a switch right here, which whenever these are under the counters, you just have to push down on this, which will actually activate the switch, and voila. See how bright they are? It is very bright. Okay, so I'm pulling 220 milliamps of current, and the power supply is rated at 1 amp. So I could really run 4 of these. Basically, that would just be pushing it off of one of these 5-volt power supplies. Okay, so that's 4.5. So let's see if I can take this up to 5. Okay, that's 5 volts. Whoa. I don't know if you see anything on the video. I'm not shining these right at, wow, those are super bright on the video. I actually have them turned away, but at 5 volts, they don't seem to be any brighter. The current went up to 0.29. Okay, so 0.3, so I can run 3 of these easily off of one of these power supplies, which there's going to be 2 on one side of the sink and 3 on the other side, so 2 power supplies, and I can run these no problem. Okay, so let me take this down a little bit. There's 4.5. I'm going to turn this off. Okay, there's that part. Now, this is going to be a little bit tricky. Let's see if I can I plug this in up here? Yes, I can. Okay, so now I'm going to hold this, and I should have, this should be ground, the outside should be ground, and this should be hot, and I should be getting 5 volts off of there. Hopefully I'm getting 4.9. Okay. That charger. Whoa! Forgot. Okay, you guys are down here. Don't touch anything. There. Okay, I'm going to guess here and here. I forgot where I had these. So let's put those in. And we don't want to read ohms right now. We want to read volts DC. So let me turn it to that. Okay. So this should be ground. And this should be 5 volts. And of course I'm getting 5.2 volts. Okay, that should work. Alright, so let me unplug this. And this even has a little green LED on it. So I know that that is still putting out 5 volts. Let me see. Is it going down at all? No, it's still 5.2. Wow, that's really good. Oh, there it goes. 3.8. 3.3. You can see that thing's getting dimmer. 2.6. 2.3. Yeah, because I don't want to ruin this. Okay, 1.8. So my next objective is to get this soldered into, oops, okay, let's turn power off there, is to get this soldered into here. So let me turn on my soldering iron. So get this soldered into here in a way, and I can do it, let me see, if I put a hole like right here, or just over there, I'll have to see where I put my little dot. But then I can run the wire in, miss this standoff, PEM, no, it's not a PEM. The threaded standoff for the screws right here, miss that, solder this in, then I won't need the batteries, and I'll have a 5 volt light, and I'll take it upstairs and try it. So hold on everyone, I'm going to put you on pause. Okay, and just really quickly, the way I'm making this hole, I found out that this was in the back, but the sensor is right here, so it was to the back. So I figured I'd turn it 33 degrees, and the sensor would be closer to the front. So I'm making a hole for the wire to go in here in the back, and then it'll come up around here to these 2 terminals. And I'm just using this X-Acto knife with a number 11 blade on it to hopefully make a hole big enough for the wire. Okay, that'll definitely fit that one. See, you're unplugged, you're off. Let's see, will both of these come through? Ooh, they do. Yep, okay, that hole's big enough. So let me put you on pause again. Alrighty, let's see how this works here. Move a little bit out of the way, hopefully. Now I'm in kind of a rush because I have to go somewhere. So I'm trying to get this done kind of as fast as possible. And I may still later on put a resistor in here to try to drop the voltage just a little bit. We'll see how it works. This is not going to go well. I can tell that right now. You know how things are. Every time you try to, whenever you have, whenever you have just a little time to do something, that's whenever everything usually seems to go wrong. And Whenever you have a lot of time, this stuff seems to work for you, but whenever you don't, it never seems to just work right. Alrighty, so let me solder this on. I think that stayed soldered. Remember to always tin your soldering iron before you put it away, stow it. Alright, cut this off. Okay, so that should be soldered on there. Let me bring this over like, oh, you don't go down the whole way. I need to lift this. Let's try to get this on here. Yeah, it's not going to work. Alright, that's above. Now, what this does, it gives it enough spring, so, yep. Okay, that does that. Now, let me just... Oh. It's supposed to go under there. So why did you fall out? I'm going to have to get something to help hold that up. Alright. And the 3 holes are aligned. And this really won't matter which way it goes, just as long as it goes on. So, I apologize if I'm in the way. That doesn't seem right. Alright, well that does. The holes line up, that's the biggest thing, the holes line up. Yep, the holes line up. Okay, so, and again, I can never stress this enough when you're working with plastic. Whenever you go to put screws back into plastic, the best way to do this is to go backwards until you can find there where it drops in. That way you're getting the same threads and you don't have to worry about bunches and bunches of cross threading, so that the screws will still hold, especially if you're working on like old computers or so. So let's see. And of course it doesn't always work. Ah, there. Well, it does if you're going counterclockwise first instead of clockwise. It works. Okay, so let's see here. Remember, go counterclockwise first, not clockwise. There, okay. And I'm not, as Eddie Murphy said, I'm not Gorilla. Let me see, it seems like it still clicks. Okay, so I should be able to put this on here. It would have power. Ha! Alright, can you see that? Okay, that's my project for tonight. So I put this, I connected the USB to this. Now I can reinstall this. I can run the adapter down to an outlet, and this can actually stay on all the time. Alright everyone, have a good night. Have a good Easter week. And just think, if everyone treated everyone else the way they wanted to be treated, how much better of a world this would be. Have a good night.